Hi everyone, Emily here, and today I would like to do a review of Dragon Keeper by Robin Hobb. Now I haven't done too many solo book reviews on my channel just because, I don't know, I just haven't. And today I wanted to talk about Dragon Keeper because it is the first book in the Rainwild Chronicles. So if you're not familiar with Robin Hobb, she has written a 16-book series, and then there's also a novella that serves kind of as like a prequel for the series. And that series is called The Realm of the Elderlings. Within the Realm of the Elderlings, there are 4 trilogies and 1 quartet. So we first have the Farseer Trilogy that follows Fitz and is told from his point of view. Then we have the Liveship Trilogy, which is in a different portion of Robin Hobb's world and has multiple points of view, and it does not follow Fitz. We have a whole new set of characters. Then we go back to the world of Fitz in the Tawny Man trilogy. Then we have the Rainwild Chronicles, which is another area of the Realm of the Elderlings. And then we have the Fitz and the Fool trilogy. Among Robin Hobb fans, the Rainwild Chronicles is the least liked. And I think because, for a couple of reasons. One, I think Robin Hobb does a masterful job of developing her characters, and we get to be in the world of Fitz and the Fool for 9 books, from what I understand. I haven't read all of the books in the Realm of the Elderly, and so I can't comment on anything at all on Fitz and the Fool. And like Fitz and the Fool their relationship is just so great. We are coming off of, when we start Rainwild Chronicles, we are coming off of the 6th book that we get to experience with Fitz the Fool and all the characters in Fitz's life. And it's just such an emotional high. Tawny Man trilogy, I gave it, every book in that trilogy I gave 5 out of 5 stars. And so then we come to the Rainwild Chronicles, and this book does kind of end abruptly, I'm not going to lie. And it's a multiple point of view book, and it's not it's a relatively shorter book compared to some of the other books. It's 550 pages. Some of her other books have been 800 pages. They're multiple POV. So I think there's that. In addition, I do think it is a little bit weaker. I did give it 4.5 stars out of 5, and not because of the character development, but now we are getting more theme development in this book. So I will say this right now, from here on out, I don't know if I can do a spoiler-free review. And what I mean by that is there might be some things that I talk about in talking about this book that might spoil some events that have happened in the Farseer Trilogy, Liveship Trilogy, or Tawny Man Trilogy, simply because the events in there impact what's happening in this book. So if you have not read any books in Robin Hobb's world, I don't recommend watching from this point on, just because I don't know if I'll be able to do spoiler free. I also don't recommend watching. I'll try to keep spoiler free for this book itself, but I know that I can't be spoiler free for the series. So that being said, at the start of this novel, we have Tintaglia. She is a dragon, and she has helped guide the serpents up the Rainwild River, and they made their cocoons, and those dragons have hatched. Sadly, though, those dragons are malformed, they're malnourished, and they cannot survive on their own. So the people of the Rain Wilds, they now have to take care of these dragons. And as the dragons get older, they require more and more care. They need more and more meat and more food. Um, they are destroying kind of like the ecology of where they are living, and it's just becoming harder to take care of these dragons. And the dragons are restless because they know that they are not what a dragon should be, because they can't fly, they cannot take care of themselves. Some of them are cognitively impaired, so it's just a not easy situation. So that's kind of the tension and the conflict of this story. And through this story, we follow several characters. So first, we follow Elise. I believe I'm pronouncing her name right. And Elise is a Bingtown trader, daughter and then wife. And she has been fascinated with dragons and the Elderlings. She has devoted her life to being a scholar of these dragons and the Elderlings, and trying to find numerous old scrolls of information to learn more and more about them. And she decides to and agrees to a marriage with Hest, who is a wealthy Bingtown trader, so that way she can continue her studies. And Hest agrees to this marriage for reasons that you will discover when you read the book. We have, brain fart, I've lost his name. Cedric. Cedric is Hest's secretary and also Elise's friend, and he kind of helped Elise and Hest come together to form their marriage. We follow Thymara, and Thymara is a Rain Wild native, and anyone who lives in the Rain Wilds, they have different markings on their face and their hands, and as they get older, those markings become more pronounced. And it seems like those markings are similar to dragon markings. And when Thymara was born, her hands were in the shape of claws. And according to the Rain Wild Society, a daughter who's born like that, or anyone who's born like that, any baby who's born like that, should be left out to die. And she was not. And so she struggles to fit in, and she has always been fascinated with the dragons. She was there when they were hatched, and she agrees to help take care of the dragons. We follow Centaura. Centaura is one of the malformed dragons that is born, and she very much is aware. She has all of the dragon memories, but she cannot fly. She's got some deformed wings, and so she feels a lot of anger and frustration over that, and also has very much the dragon pride that Tintaglia has, but Centaura's like, I'm also malformed. We also meet Leftrin, and Leftrin is, from what I understand, he is a Rain Wilder who owns his own barge, and he trades up and down the Rain Wild River. And he agrees to, and he's got his own motives and things that he would like to do in order to increase his fortune and improve his status in life. And I think that follows the main point of views. I enjoyed I enjoyed all of the characters. I really like Thymara, and I really like her relationships with Taps, who is he was a former the son of a former Chalcedon slave, and he also was enslaved, hence the name Tats, because Chalcedon slaves have tattoos on their faces that mark who they belong to. And she also befriends another Rain Wilder, and I don't remember his name. It starts with an R. And when we first meet him, he he I was about to say something that would be spoilery, but it's like Rapskin or I don't remember his name. It starts with an R. But he's just a fascinating character, because when you first meet him, you're just kind of like okay, but he's got some depths there that just he's fascinating. I'm looking forward to meeting more of him. And then we also follow Greft in Thymara's circle, and Greft, he reminds me very much of some characters from Liveship Trader. What I enjoyed about this book, so I'm going to show you something. I will underline and mark some underlines, like I typically underline things that are like, that's beautiful, like just beautiful, an example of beautiful writing, or something that's like, ooh, this is something that's going to be like really important later. Robin Hobb is very well known for like throwing something in, and like just like a sentence or like a word, and you're like, you can easily gloss over it. And I did that a lot in Farseer and Liveship before I caught on to it. It took me a little too long to catch on to that, but now I know. And so she'll just drop something in, and you're like, that's probably going to be significant later. So I typically will do that, or like, oh, this is something important about this person's character. So I typically will underline and tab those. But this go around, I've started tabbing in different colors. So like blue was all like plot and character points, but then the green were like different themes. And so that's what I really appreciated about this book, is I felt like in this book she develops some more themes that like she's touched on in other books, but now she's going into it more. So we're getting a whole lot of ecology and the impact of ecology and the relationship between creatures and animals and humans and land, and how that all impacts each other. We're getting gentrification themes. We're getting heavy themes on women and the impact and their lack of agency in society and in life. Elise, who, like, she's older and unmarried and lives at home and basically has no agency, and just how that impacts her. And also just being a scholar and her being a woman, and how that is viewed. That to me is fascinating. I also really liked the themes of ableism and her addressing that. So and she does that some. She for sure does that some in Tawny Man with a specific character in Tawny Man, and she also does this in Dragon Keeper with Thymara, with the dragons, more specifically with Thymara and her circle and the characters that surround her. And why I appreciate that is I work with students with disabilities. I'm a special ed teacher, and then I've also worked with adults with disabilities. And so some of the themes and the things that they do, that she brings to light, like we've done in America, and we've done that in our not so distant past. Like, so I think that's why I appreciated this. I was gonna say something, and I completely lost my thought. What I also appreciated, um, crap, I totally lost my thought. So I appreciate those themes. um, I do I do think, and I am afraid, that there might be some trigger warnings on some events that might happen later in the series. As I was reading it, I was just like, so I'm nervous about this character. I'm nervous about what's going to happen. And based on what I think could happen and how his character is, and past experience in other books from Robin Hobb, I do think there might be some trigger warnings. So that makes me a little nervous, not gonna lie, but I'm looking forward to reading more in the Rainwild Chronicles. Yeah, that is my review. Sorry, this is unedited. I don't know how to edit. I need to learn how to edit. Let me know what you are reading. Let me know if you've read Rainwild Chronicles and your thoughts. Let me know where you are in your journey with Robin Hobb. I would love to engage in a discussion. Also, side note, I discovered, I had originally recorded this video last week, and I was replaying it, and there was some major sound issues. So I didn't upload it, I had to delete it, had to re-record. So if you are ever watching one of my videos and you notice that there's a sound issue, please let me know. I don't know how to edit. I just am recording off of my iPad and iPad mic. So these are rough videos. I am hoping this summer, when I have more free time and more energy, to hopefully try to find a course, maybe through Skillshare or somewhere, or just to do some research on how to edit and upload better quality videos. But I'm a school teacher, and this year has just, it's a first year at a new school for me, and also it's been, if you know teachers, you know that it's been a challenging year for teachers. So my time when I come home, I do a lot of decompressing activities like reading and watching other booktubers, listening to listening to podcasts to decompress. So, and since I look at a computer all day, I teach computers, so when I come home, I don't want to look at another computer. I'm sorry. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your feedback, and I hope that you have a wonderful Saturday. Happy reading, everyone.